Well, thank you, Ariana. I want to just pause and see if you have any questions about the mediator's role that we were just talking about. Questions come up for you?
No, I don't think so. You really explained everything and answered everything I was thinking about.
Okay, great. So we've been doing a lot of talking, so we're going to give you a chance to talk.
Yeah. Just want to hear about the situation that you're dealing with and hear your side of it.
Yeah, sure. So we met mostly through Facebook, online Facebook. I was looking for a place to live. We probably had roommates for about 6 months now.
Okay.
And, at first it was fine. And then, I don't know, Laura got really annoyed at my leaving stuff around. And, I work, I'm a nanny, so I work all day and I spend a lot of time with my partner and his dogs. So I may not do my dishes right away, I'll leave them for the next day because I know I'm coming back. And
so you're gone all day?
Yeah, I'm gone all day.
Okay.
Because the parents of the children I nanny, they work.
Okay.
So I'm gone all day. And it's early, so I'm rushing out in the morning. And sometimes I just can't get to it. So I figured, it's no biggie, I'll just do it the next day. And then, she started getting really snappy at me when I tried to have conversations. And I don't know, then she started, this is so crazy, then she just started putting all my stuff on my bed. I'd come home and I would find on my bed piles of stuff, maybe some dishes. She wouldn't talk to me about it. She would just do this. And so she was being totally passive aggressive. And then when I tried to talk to her about it, she just kind of avoided the whole conversation. Yeah.
Okay.
So you would come home and find things on your bed?
Yeah.
What went through your mind when you...
I was like, well, one, I was surprised that she just went in the room like that. And I just thought, why don't you just say something, right? Just tell me what's going on. This is it's so passive aggressive.
How did it feel when she went into your room and things on your bed? What was your reaction?
I was surprised and I was kind of pissed off, to be honest. I don't go into her room without permission. And I don't know, it felt like a strong message, but obviously really indirectly. So I felt like she was pissed off, but she wouldn't talk about it. And I don't understand that. And then the next thing I knew, I was contacted by the property manager to come to mediation. So I was like, I don't understand. I'm an open book, so just come talk to me.
So you were feeling confused or troubled about why don't you just talk about it? Or
I was confused and frustrated. She's kind of uptight. I'd noticed she's really wants things to be a certain way in the place, and things have to be cleaned up right away, and that's fine if she wants to do that, but that's not she's not my mother. Can't tell me how to do things. We both live there.
Oh, okay. So it sounds like you're feeling judged for your
own
lifestyle.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I hadn't thought about that, but I do. I feel completely judged. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the property manager situation? Did that happen pretty quickly, or what's your take on that?
I guess this has been happening for a while. She's been annoyed with this for a while. And then, I don't know, not that long ago, maybe a few weeks ago, the property manager just contacted me and said, I'm referring you to mediation. So, I thought I was in trouble, and, I didn't understand. I really didn't understand why Laura couldn't just come talk to me and we could just resolve this ourselves. So I was really surprised.
You said that you felt like she went to the property manager. Did she try to speak to you at all?
No. I mean, she's made some snippy comments before about me being a slob or messy. But no, we haven't talked about what's happening you know, like if she's upset about the stuff, I've tried, but she just kind of shuts down and doesn't want to talk about it.
What's a sample kind of interaction with the kind of the communication, the dialogue when you know she's tried to address it or you've tried to address it?
Well, we just don't. Like like I said, she tends to, when I try to have conversations, she kind of snaps at me. So it seems like she's annoyed or irritated or mad. So yeah, we just don't get very far in the conversation. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on with her. You know, she's not talking to me about it, so I really don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like that's a little troubling to you, like, why doesn't she just talk about it?
It is, it's like it's
You
very.
prefer direct communication?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Like if something's happening, just talk to me. You know, it's really uncomfortable, you know, living with somebody who, like, I feel like I need to walk on eggshells. Like,
Sure.
I don't know exactly what I'm doing that's pissing her off, but clearly there's something, and yet she won't talk to me about it.
Yeah, that sounds really uncomfortable, and
It
I
is,
think
yeah, it is.
you can understand.
Yeah, it is, very. Like, if I had known, you know, that this was gonna be the situation, maybe I wouldn't have moved in, but at this point, like, you know, we have 6 more months on the lease, I can't really move right now, you know.
It's a major undertaking almost,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
To move, yeah. So there's some willingness to try to work this out so that you can continue.
Yeah,
living
yeah, I'd really
together.
like
Okay.
to. I mean, I don't dislike her or anything. I don't like the way that she's handling this, and I don't understand why she couldn't just talk to me.
Yeah, it sounds like the direct communications, and open communication is, and that you feel you've been open to it.
Yeah,
And you
absolutely.
described her, you said snippy,
Mhm.
kind of making snippy remarks, you
Mhm.
said, that are not direct, but, yeah.
And judgy too.
And
You know, when you
okay,
said that.
okay.
Yes, that was really felt true when you said I feel
Okay.
judged.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's difficult. Feeling
Yeah.
judged is
Yeah.
can be difficult, so.
Yeah, it also sounds like the, like, respect is important to you in terms
Yeah.
of respecting both your property
Right,
and your
yeah.
privacy.
Yeah,
You were
Definitely.
confused or at least surprised that she
Yeah.
went to your room.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was just so, I don't know how else to describe it, it was just so passive aggressive, you know? It really annoyed me, to be honest. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, we're adults, just, you know, use your words.
Use your words.
Right.
You know, I'm a nanny, like, I tell the kids all the time, use your words, right? So, yeah.
So
Yeah.
after the property manager had contacted you, did you have any interaction? Did you use your words with Laura?
You know, again, like I just said, like, hey, the property manager let me know that they're referring us to mediation, and that's fine with me.
Okay,
That's
that's where
pretty
you all
much
left it.
Like, yeah, we don't really talk all that much now.
So there was no conversation after that?
Not really.
Or any other attempt to kind of work it out with her?
No.
Okay. So this will be kind of the first time you're actually
Yeah, this will
talking
be,
about it?
yeah, this will
Okay.
be the first time we're discussing it directly.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm really glad, because the conversations I've tried to have haven't gone anywhere, so I'm really glad to have somebody else helping.
Great. Well, we're glad you're here. So I think this is an
Yeah,
opportunity
thanks.
for both of you to talk about what's important to you and also to listen. Sometimes we may have not heard what the other person says, or somebody might be more open in this forum to be able to talk about things. Yeah.
Well, I hope she's open to hearing me too.
Yes, absolutely. We hope that, and we'll,
Yeah.
as we said, you know, we're holding the space for the two of you
Yeah.
to be able to hear each other and talk about what's important to you.
Yeah.
And on that, what would you say is the hardest thing about this whole situation for you? What's been the hardest thing?
Probably that it feels like, I think I said before, like, it just feels like I'm walking on eggshells in my own home.
Yeah.
Like, it's not relaxing, it's not comfortable, there's a lot of tension.
Yeah.
It's, it kind of feels like this is her place and she gets to make the rules and she's just waiting for me to screw up. And like, I just feel like, it's really uncomfortable and I'm just sort of waiting for, like, it kind of feels like I'm gonna get in trouble all the time.
Okay, so there's a lot of tension.
A lot of tension.
And you'd
yeah.
like to feel some ease in your own home.
Totally. Yeah, I want to be able to relax.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm not there every night. I spend a lot of time with my partners.
Right, right.
But, like, I always come home, eventually take care of my stuff. But when I'm there, I would like it to be comfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'd like it to be your home where you
Yeah.
can relax and be at ease and be
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah, and I don't want to be
Yeah.
told what to do in my own house.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Mhm.
So, just so I know that I'm getting down everything down, is that you feel like, okay, you're really busy, you're a nanny, and that, sometimes dishes don't get, cleaned, and she can get snippy about it, is your words, right? And you feel like she's passive aggressive.
Yeah.
And there is a situation with the property manager as well as the, putting your things on your
Yeah.
bed.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to share regarding your perspective?
Maybe just, like, this just seems normal to me, so I don't really understand why it's such a big deal for her.
Okay.
And I just don't think it's realistic to, like, keep a super clean house all the time. Like, I really don't understand.
Okay.
When you say this, what are you referring to?
Oh, like putting your dishes in the sink and then doing them the next day or maybe the day after, like, that's
Okay.
just normal.
That's just normal
Yeah.
life.
It's just,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
just,
Right.
it doesn't mean anything, it's just, like,
Yeah.
I'll do it, but I just don't understand what, like, the urgency is, and I don't think it's realistic.
Okay. And you don't want to feel like you're having to do it when she wants you to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like, she's not in control of my schedule or
Mhm.
tell me what to do and when.
Yeah, you need
Yeah.
some freedom, some autonomy to
Yeah.
live how you want to live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Okay.
she's not my mother.
Mhm.
Mhm. Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You've really, clearly explained how it's affecting you. How do you think it's affecting her, this conflict, if you had to put yourself in her position?
Well, I would guess that she's also uncomfortable because I can feel the tension. And, I mean, like I said, the way that she responds to me, so something's going on. I don't know if she's angry or irritated or frustrated, but she must feel something because it's just so obvious.
You can feel it and
Oh, yeah.
that tension in the house.
Yeah. So I'm sure, like, for her, it's not fun and it feels uncomfortable too. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Is there anything that you'd like her to most understand about the situation that hasn't been able to be communicated?
Well, I guess, I really just want us to be able to live together till the end of the lease. I guess I want her to know that, like, I want to work this out. I don't want to move out. I would like things to be better between us. Like, we don't have to be best friends, but it would be nice to feel comfortable, at home. And also, I would like her to stop putting stuff in my room, and talk to me. Like, if there's a problem or, there's an issue, just have a conversation. Like I said, I always think I'm open and easy to talk to, but who knows? Like, I don't know why she doesn't. She just shuts down when I try to talk with her.
Okay. So those are pretty clear kind of goals of first and outcomes. And it sounds like you want to understand why she doesn't talk to you directly.
Yeah.
Is there anything else
do.
you want to understand about her perspective?
Well, yeah, like, I guess I don't understand why things have to be, like, cleaned right away and, like, I feel like I'm missing something.
Okay.
So, like, if she could explain maybe why that's important to her, what her thinking is, like, I just don't get it. So, yeah, I feel like there's a big piece missing in my, like, understanding what's happening, because she won't talk to me about it.
So you want to understand why that's so important to her and
Yeah.
her to communicate with you
Yeah,
about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't seem like such a big deal to me, but clearly it's a big deal to her, and I just don't understand why. Yeah.
I'm hearing you describe some differences in lifestyle, differences in communication, which is so common, right? Because
Yeah.
we're all individuals,
Yeah.
have our own preferences. Is there anything that she might do or say that might trigger a response in you? Whether it's doing or saying?
Yeah, well, if she calls me any names, that's a pretty big trigger for me.
Okay.
You know, especially critical.
Has that happened in the past?
Yeah, yeah,
And that's obviously the feeling judge part, but.
yeah, definitely.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything you might say to trigger a reaction in Ariana? I mean, in.
Oh, in Laura? You know, I don't really know because she doesn't talk to me.
Okay.
So, yeah, so she seems, anytime like there's some conflict, she just gets upset, so, and
Okay.
checks out, so I don't really know. It would be helpful to know.
And
You know, I
then-
don't want to upset her. I don't
Okay.
want to cause, you know, conflict. You know.
So you want to know what's upsetting her so you know you're aware of it?
Yeah,
first of
I
all.
think I just like, it's really helpful for me to have clear expectations and open communication. Like, I feel like I have no idea what's going on. And that also feels really strange and kind of, what's the right word? Like, yeah, it's a little disorienting when I'm at home.
Like you're having to guess how she might
Yeah,
react, and
yeah.
that's kind of the walking on
Yeah,
eggshells
exactly.
feeling that you were talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, which creates that tension, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you communicated primarily face-to-face? I know that you said that it's difficult to communicate
Mhm.
with her. Is there any other way you've communicated electronically or?
you know, we'll text occasionally, but again, it's really brief and mostly like
Mostly
logistical
face-to-face.
stuff. Yeah.
And
And we
has-
don't engage a whole lot.
You don't have a lot of
Mm-mm.
conversations, right?
No,
Which
I thought,
is-
you know, I was really excited to move in and I thought we'd be friends
Mhm.
and it just
Mhm.
kind of went downhill. Yeah, so, but no, we don't have a lot of communication at all.
Well, it sounds like you want to have a good, at least a civil, if you will, friendly relationship enough to be able to live out the lease together.
Yeah, at this point, like I said, you know, I don't expect to be, you know, best friends or even good friends, but I would like us to be able to live together respectfully and cooperatively. Yeah, and so that it's more comfortable for both of us, really.
Right.
And clear expectations is part of that, you say, and
Yeah.
has there been any expectations communicated?
From her?
From her, yeah.
No, no. Again, she'll just dump my stuff on my bed. I mean, I don't know if you consider that a communication?
Yeah.
I don't.
That's a big-
Well,
I guess it is, but
It's a way of sending a message.
Yes, it's a way of sending it sends a message for sure, but I don't really consider that good communication.
Right.
And it, you know, sets off a response in you, which doesn't.
Right, yeah, because then I just get
Right.
pissed off, and now I'm angry at her, and she probably feels that, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah. Let's see, was there anything else? Is there anything else that you haven't mentioned? Both in terms of your goals for the mediation or,
You know, like I said, I just want to be able to live together till the lease is up. And I think, you know, it might be helpful to talk about how we communicate, because we haven't, and it hasn't worked well.
Okay.
And it seems like, you know, I'm open to talking about stuff and she's not. So I don't know if we could figure out a way to communicate, so if something happens, and so that she can tell me instead of just throw things on my bed. You know, so
Right.
maybe, I don't know, figure out some way for us to talk with each other.
Okay.
whether it's, in person or by text, I'm open to whatever. Yeah.
Great, right, there's an openness there, which is, there's flexibility for hearing, but it sounds like one of the things, when we think about what could happen in mediation, that would be helpful. It sounds like that's certainly one of them, to come to some agreement about how you communicate.
Yeah.
That takes both of your
Yeah.
different ways of communicating into consideration,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah, because it can't just be all her way.
Right.
It's not gonna, that hasn't been working.
Okay.
Yeah, and I get it too, like it can't be all my way either. Like, we live together, we have to both agree and we have to, I'm guessing compromise and,
Yeah, I'm hearing you're open to hearing ideas,
Yeah.
it might work, you're not
yeah.
thinking this is the way it has to be, you're saying has to work for her, has to work for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
And that's great, because
Yeah.
that's kind of what it's about, this
Yeah.
conversation, right?
Yeah.
And there's a willingness to listen to her perspective too,
I am.
consider it, and that's
Yeah,
that's
I am. I mean,
encouraging as well.
I'm still a little upset and frustrated
course.
and annoyed, I guess, just at the way that she's
Yeah.
handled this.
Mhm.
Again, like, she could have just had a conversation. I don't know why property management company had to get involved.
Right.
Mhm.
But yes, I am willing. But yeah, in just in total transparency, I'm just sharing that I still feel annoyed.
Okay, and that's, if you're willing to share how you're feeling about that and the whole situation with her.
Oh, tell her that I'm annoyed?
Right, do you think that you'd be willing to do that in your
I could, but
joint session?
Yeah, I could say that, but I feel like she's just, like, maybe she might leave.
Oh, okay.
Like,
You're worried that if you tell her how you're feeling, she might leave the room?
or the
mediation?
conversation, or, yeah,
Okay.
I just
Okay.
feel like, I don't know if she can handle that.
Okay, so one of the things, of course, that we're watching is to make sure that everybody feels as safe as possible to be able to express and to listen.
Okay.
So while you can expect that you might feel a little comfortable hearing what she has to say, that's okay. She might feel a little uncomfortable about hearing about what you have to say.
Yeah.
And so I think that's part of the hardest thing in mediation is to kind of, I'm just listening right now and,
Yeah.
not interrupt, but wait a second and then you get a turn to either reflect back what you're hearing or have a chance to say how you're feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if, I have a question.
Mhm.
What if she says something that's not true? Like, do I get a chance to address that?
You get a chance to address it, and knowing that you each have your own perspective and your life experience, and that your truth is valid.
Okay.
You don't have to agree on, my perspective is the truth, because you're experiencing maybe even the same event from different perspectives, right? Yeah.
And just to chime in, I think that the ground rules, that's one of our roles, as is to enforce them, and one of them would be to allow you your perspectives, but then, of course, not to interrupt. Sometimes when if you hear something that you feel like is untrue, you might jump in and say, oh, well, no, this is the way it really is.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do that in a respectful manner so that you will get to say your piece, and she explains it from her perspective. But definitely, I think this whole feeling of safety is really important, and hopefully both of you feel safe enough to, because it's ground rules, that you're able to complete it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and
process.
it's important to also remember to speak from your own perspective and try not to read intent into it, like, oh, she did that because she doesn't like me, or she did that because she wanted to annoy me. But really, speak from your own perspective.
Okay.
When you did that, I felt annoyed. It doesn't invalidate your feelings, but she may not have had that intent. I'm just as an example, right?
Okay.
So it's helpful to remember that, your perspective and your feelings are valid just as hers are.
Okay.
And that you have different meanings for different, like cleanliness obviously means something different to her than it does to you, and so it might feel like it's untrue, but you really are bringing different meanings from your experiences. So just to clarify that, to have the opportunity to clarify that is I think part of the strength of this process.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So how are you feeling now about the prospect of having this joint conversation with her?
Well, a little nervous, but I want to, and like I'm kind of looking forward to doing that just so we can deal with this.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
To put it behind you.
Yeah.
Clear the air, so to
Yeah.
speak, yeah. Okay. Well, it sounds like if you're willing to go to the joint session, then
Yeah.
the next step is the scheduling piece.
Okay.
So Rebecca will be in touch with you to schedule that, and she has our schedules. And
Rebecca's very prompt and right.
That's great.
yeah, she probably already has some dates for you,
She
right?
is on it.
So, yeah, is there anything else? I think, no, I don't think we have anything else.
No, I don't. I just really enjoyed meeting you, and I really
thank you.
appreciate your openness and willing to look
Yeah.
at someone else's perspective too.
Yeah, thank you. I think this will
Thank
be
you.
really productive.
Great.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, we'll see you soon.
All right,
Okay.
sounds good.
All right,
Thank
take
you.
care.
Okay.